If you have a tax firm that's doing 250 to $1 million a year, it's the most riskiest part of your business. And here's why. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one is fear overwhelms you. And what I mean by that is that, let's say hypothetically, you have one, two, three employees. Maybe one is a key employee that works with all your clients. And the reason why it's so risky in this stage is because that key employee, you're always wondering, well, what if they get good enough that they leave me? What if they get good enough that they take my customers? And that has happened many, many times. It's a legit fear for most tax firms is that what if I train someone and they leave, right? That's the number one thing, right? Is key person risk at that stage. Number two is, well, what if something happens to my business? I'll give you a perfect scenario. I had a tax firm that came in and they were doing about $500,000 a year, and a data risk jeopardized their business that they had been in business for 15 plus years, and their customers were always happy until that one data risk that literally wiped out about 40% of his revenue, meaning his customers just took off because he had to tell them that their returns had been jeopardized and some of them got access to their accounts. And so now he had to come back and figure out how to fix it, right? So that's a data risk. Number three is, let's say you want to go on vacation and you take 2 to 3 weeks off during tax season, which, if you're watching this and you're a tax professional, you're already talking in seasons. You don't talk in years anymore, especially if you've done this for more than 5 plus years. You don't talk in years, in actual years themselves. You talk in tax season years because that's how you've been trained. And let's say hypothetically you do want to take a vacation during January, which you can't, right? Because that's when the peak season is, or September, when peak season of tax planning or any of those things. That's key person risk, meaning you as the professional, as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, you're the biggest risk to your company because you haven't built a team that can run without you, right? And the last thing is the key customer risk. Now, here's what I mean by that is, if you're doing 250 to $1 million a year, you really have two kind of types of clients. Number one, really, really low end clients, meaning you have a bunch of clients, which is good, but it's bad for the same reason. It's good because you have a distribution of revenue that's coming across the board, but it's bad because you're doing a lot for a little. Second side of that is you have a very small base of clients, of which some of them pay you disproportionate amounts, and they pay more than the people that pay the least amount. In which case, if one of those clients leaves, you actually end up back at square one. And the reason why I say 250,000 to $1 million a year is the biggest risk in your business. And most people think, well, if I just stay small, my profits stay good, I live a good life, I don't have to worry, it's not so much struggle, I don't have much headache, I don't have to deal with a lot of people. The truth is that that is the most risky part of your business because it's too fragile to walk away from. It's too fragile to hire good people. It's too fragile to increase prices. It's too fragile to do literally anything besides work inside the business. And at this stage, you know how they say work on your business, not in your business? Well, the truth is, in this stage, you have to get up, meaning you have to grow past $1 million, $2 million a year so you can work on the business. Anyone who tells you you can work on the business for less than $1 million a year has not grown a big business. I can tell you that because we took our company from zero to $10 million in 36 months. And the key reason why we were able to do that, number one, is focus. Number two is because we understood the concept is you can't work on the business until you built out the business so it can run itself. And now I can tell you from the other side of growing that side of the business is that you work on your business after $1 million. And so what I will tell you today is the riskiest part of your business is staying small with high profits, or just good enough. Meaning, if you're making 250,000 or 150,000 to maybe $650,000 take home, that's good. But let me tell you, from seeing over 50,000 tax firms in the last 36 months, I can tell you it's the riskiest part of your business, because if something breaks, which it will, it's hard to come back from because you don't have enough profits, you don't have a system. And really, the true solution behind this is threefold. Number one, you have to have a predictable marketing system, bar none. That's without fail. You cannot negotiate with this. You have to have this in place. Here's why. Because if a key employee leaves, guess what? They take those customers, you replace those customers. Boom. Number two is key data risk. If you lose customers because of the data messes up, boom, you can replace them. Number three is if your pricing sucks, guess what? Your new marketing brings you on better, bigger clients because you're marketing to bigger, better clients, right? So marketing system solves all those things. Now, number two is a pricing mechanism that works. Meaning, if you're still trying to say, oh, well, it's just an hour of my time to do a $1,500 S Corp. No, it's not about the dollar. It's about what proceeds after that, right? What comes after that dollar? Because just because you took that 15 minutes to do the S Corp, but just because you took that 15 minutes to do a simple tax return and you think, well, it's $100 for 15 minutes. The truth is it's not the dollar amount. It's about all the questions you're going to get as it relates to that. It's the compounding effects of conversations that you're going to have after that dollar is exchanged. And so at this stage in your business, you have to decide, do I want to get paid little amounts for, if you want to get paid little amounts, or you want to get paid big amounts? And this is where I tell people at this stage, you have to stop stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. You're doing a lot for a little, and it maybe seem easy, and it might seem like it's just another 15-minute thing. No, the truth is you have not seen, if you've been in business long enough, you have either not seen that point, or you're negating that conversation or problem. You're kicking the problem down the road because you want this short-term fix. It's scarce mindset. This is a mindset that stops and stalls most tax firms in this range right here. And this is why we see tax firms stall out at $1 million a year, and they grow only like 5 to 10% every year after, because they don't understand how to grow. They don't understand the mechanics of a marketing machine, a sales process, a right pricing methodology, and actually adding higher level services, not additional side level services or going down. That's the biggest trap of the industry. And I can tell you that because, I mean, our average firm within our companies, we see them grow 50 to 100% year over year. Whereas their colleagues, according to the AICPA platform, they say that they grow 6 to 11% a year on average. So if you really just think about it, it doesn't even account for inflation, which that could be 3% or 4% every single year, right? Inflation. And so there you go. So you increase by 6% and you're already 3% loss. Now, let's say you have a couple of employees that you want to pay them a raise or give them a bonus. Well, guess what? There wipes off all your profit, because maybe that's 2 to 3% of your total business you're giving back to your employees, which you should. And guess what? You're back at square one. Next year, just because you grew 6 to 11%, it's wiped off with inflation. It's wiped off with paying your team members more. And that doesn't even include any increases in softwares. That doesn't include any increases in the things that you're having to pay. They're going to increase their prices. And so what happens is you're getting squeezed. Even though you're getting 6 to 11% year over year, your revenue and profits subsequently stay exactly the same. And so this is why I tell most firms right here at $250 to $1 million, or even up to $2 million a year, your goal should be to grow. Your goal should be to install a marketing system that works, install an upgrade process for clients to take them from smaller clients to bigger clients, not from smaller clients to more smaller clients. You don't want a referral system that brings you more smaller clients. You want a referral system that brings you bigger, better clients. And number three is a pricing structure that actually works, meaning you have to be able to charge in accordance to what the value the client gets, not what you want to charge or not what everyone's charging, right? You want to be able to charge what the client perceives as valuable. And thus, you need to create a value proposition where value is up here, cost is what it costs you, and price is what they pay, right? In between, that margin in between, the more valuable they see, the more price you can push up, and that margin in between, from the price to the cost, is what you keep. And that's exactly how firms that we see every single day grow 50 to 100% year over year. And that's how, like, clients like Maribel, I was just talking to her. She's a CPA out of Chicago. And she said, hey, when I was doing $2.2 million a year, I felt like I was taking care of all of my employees. And I just got off a call with her recently. And she said, it feels like my employees now take care of me. They protect me, which is a totally different mind shift. That's when you know you've got good people in your corner that are here to stand and fight with you on your behalf. So, to sum this all up, if you're a tax firm that's doing $250 to $1 million a year, you have no choice but to grow. You cannot add another business. You cannot do a different service line like financial services, or adding credit repair, or adding insurance like mortgage, you can't add car insurance or any of those things, because those things keep you where you're at. They do not increase profits. They only add additional problems to your business. Maybe the revenue goes up, but the profits stay exactly the same, which is unfortunate, because if you're really trying to grow and scale this business to where you want to sell it or hand it off to your kids or to a legacy, the truth is a buyer is not going to want to buy it because you're so spread thin, right? So the margins are tiny, and even if they're good, it's key person risk. You're the biggest risk. Or number two, the reasons why your kids don't want to stay or in that business, they don't want to work inside that business, is because they see the problems that you have created. So the truth is you must grow. You must get out of this stage as fast as humanly possible, or you risk staying where you're at, and worse, doing exactly the same thing in 5 to 10 years and going nowhere fast. And like I met someone recently, she's doing $400,000 a year, and she said, I'm 6 years old, I'm about to be 6 years old, and I have no time left. So if you don't want to be stuck at that, get out, get up, go to that next level in your tax firm, so that way you can actually either step away from the business, work on the business, not in the business, so that way your customers love you and you love them again, your team members love you and you love them again, and also so that way if you ever want to sell, you have something sellable, or if you want to hand it off to your kids would happily take over something that's better than what you left it. They don't want to take over your problems. So don't give them the problems, right? So if this was helpful for you, I hope it was. Let me know in the chat, or let me know in the comments there.